Hello! Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing well. We are back, and we are back hopefully for a proper week of streaming this time. Having said that, apologies that we're a little bit late tonight. Yeah, time kinda got away from me a little bit, as it's want to do lately. Yay, unmedicated, very likely ADHD. But anyway, enough of that. I do want to give a big shout out to our supporters on Patreon, so huge thank you, Lona. Your support does mean the world to me and is allowing me to continue to do this for some reason. Hi, Ember, hope you're doing well. Right. Don't really have too much to get into detail about at the moment today. We are still helping out to support the Fabulous Marines initiative up above. Across the whole campaign and everyone involved, we're trying to help raise $10,000 towards the Trevor Project, an LGBTQ youth hotline. I almost said suicide prevention hotline. Ultimately, that is their goal, but at the same time, they're there to help support anybody who is dealing and struggling with situations regarding their sexuality and their gender over in America, especially considering how much of a volatile environment it is at the moment. Like, it's getting pretty bad over there. So every little bit of support you can give them is greatly appreciated. We will also be actually supporting a UK-based charity of a very similar nature for our big annual charity live stream later on this year. I am going to start working out the details of that probably the next coming months or so. So stay tuned. You'll know a little bit more about it once I know a little bit more about it. As always, I am just a one-woman show trying to do most of this stuff by myself in the background, which makes it a bit of a challenge, but it's a fun challenge, if nothing else. We will also be making an announcement later on this week with regards to our 3D print store once it goes live properly. I'm hoping that's going to be in the next couple of days. We were meant to do some work towards getting that up and running today, but again, we kind of got caught up with a big backlog of stuff that we're still dealing with at the moment. So, sometimes things have to take a bit of a backseat, but that's why I didn't want to sort of pin a formal date on it of this is exactly when it was going to go live. But the aim is it's going to be up and running and ready for your perusal and hopeful purchasings over the course of this week. So, yay, that's a thing. Just going back on about the Fabulous Marines initiative, we are running a poll in our Discord at the moment for one of 2 miniatures that's going to get painted up and then auctioned off in aid of the cause as well. So, if you want to get involved with that, ! Dis or Discord in chat below. It is all in the announcements section, I do believe. Yes. So there's 2 miniatures. I'll just be totaling up the emote reactions on each to determine which of the 2 is going to win. At the moment, we have a fairly clear winner, but that could always change. So that'll be running until about Thursday this week. And then the week after, so next week, we'll actually be scheduling ourselves in a day to paint it up and get ready to auction it off, and it's going to be great. Anyway, with all that out of the way, let's crack on and get on with some painting. Right, it is of course Massive Monday, so we are going to be working on our massive model for the month. which is Vashtorr the Arkifane. I say for the month, I reckon it's probably going to take me about the rest of this month to get it done, but we'll see. Hopefully it won't be as much of a big task. It should be pretty straightforward. I feel like we're kind of at a good point with it now. Like, we're definitely getting somewhere with it, and I don't want to say that it's going to be done soon, but I feel like it won't be long before it's done. So with that in mind, today we're mostly going to be working on all the metallics, and I think I'm going to start that off with all of the iron and steel areas, probably with some chainmail silver. I did a dumb. I'll be right back. Forgot my water pots. There we go, we're back again. Apologies for that. It's because I completely refreshed my wet palettes whilst we were in the pre-stream setup. I remembered to bring that through, but left my water pots in the bathroom. I feel like today's just kind of one of those days. We all get them from time to time. I'm just going to use this as a sort of combination layering and highlighting approach. Purely because I don't really want it to be any brighter than this. Because I'm not going for a silver, and I don't want it to look too clean. I do still want to keep some of that sort of grim dark grunginess about it. And because of the way we've done the oil wash, we don't exactly need to go back in and redo any of the base coats. So we have it pretty much base coated and shaded how I want it. Like, it would even be perfectly viable to just leave it as it is for the most part. Oh, hi Armand, how you doing? I'll take care of that hydrate in just a moment. Hope you've had a safe journey back from UKGE. So I kind of feel like what I'm mostly doing with this is just brightening up a few areas. I mean, your skin looks too pale. I'm home is how I am. That's good. Glad to hear it. Also, the skin's meant to be pale. It's kind of meant to look sickly and unnatural. Boo, make it more disgusting. I mean, what would you recommend exactly? Like, in what way do you think it should look more disgusting? Like, I am tempted to add some sort of dark, almost blackened veins underneath the skin in a few areas, just because it looks a little blank in places, but that's really about it, as much as I want to do to it. But I'm always open for suggestions. More purplish bruises, more old pox marks or scars, and yeah, definitely visible veins. Okay. I'm not super sure about the pockmarks, scars, and purplish hue to it. Only because, again, I kind of want to make it look a little bit like some sort of vague approximation of human skin. I do still want to kind of give you that kind of uncanny valley effect when you look at it. Because this guy looks like that skin is someone else's store-bought rather than homemade. I like that. I like that analogy for it. Like, I genuinely think that's kind of a cool way of describing it. I'll give it some thought. I personally felt like I was done with the skin, but I'll take it into consideration, definitely. Like, I have to admit, I do like the way Froggy the Gamer Girl's done her Vashtorr, where she's kind of made it look like raw muscle. Just gives me those sort of Hellraiser vibes, and I really like that. I just thought it was neat. I got someone who saw the if you can't make your own serotonin store-bought is fine and took it to an extreme beyond Karen level. What? It's certainly a fun way of describing the look. It's a pro mental health care meme, but Karens ruin even the most fun things. That's true. Gonna check M's dragon in a bit, but needed to do some other stuff first. No problem. No problem at all. I'm sure she appreciates it nonetheless. In fact, I know she does, so yeah, it's all good. And normally I would do a heat bloom effect on the flamer barrel in the middle there, but I haven't decided if I'm going to or not, only because I kind of feel like with Vashtorr it wouldn't make a massive amount of sense. Yeah, it is one of his key weapons, but at the same time it feels more like he'd be, rather than just jetting out a constant stream of fire with it, it would be more like precision controlled bursts. But I don't know, we'll see. I double bubble wrapped it and put it in my travel bag, but then I had to last minute repack some board games into said bag, so I was literally on the street my bus stop was on. When the handle on the shopping bag I was transporting the games in broke. Ooh, sorry to hear that. If it's any consolation, I know what that's like. It's fine though, I made quite the sight today. I can imagine so. Carting all that stuff back from UK Games Expo probably wasn't the easiest thing in the world for you to do. Your old messenger bag over one shoulder, my red/black travel bag over the other, top of the bag tucked under my arm, the huge clock tower box, other hand the shopping bag with the rest of the games. Bloody hell! Turned yourself into a proper pack mule there, didn't you? Wow, that's impressive. I'm glad you managed to make it back with all that stuff. I'm glad you had a good time, though. It looked like a lot of fun. I'll definitely have to look at going next year. Wanted to go as a demo. It's such a good experience. I've got to admit, I was tempted to. I am tempted to, but at the same time, I'd also want to be there, like, experiencing all the other games. Like, I'd like to be there to play games as much as I would be to actually work on behalf of a company. I don't know. It's a shame there's no real way of doing both. Take half a day off, and as an exhibitor, you get early access to the halls. Ooh, okay. It's something I'll look into, definitely. I say, who knows? We'll see what happens. I know a whole bunch of content creators ended up going there and got invited to as part of like a paid sponsorship kind of thing. Who knows? Maybe we might make it big enough to do that next year. Certainly not discounting any possibility. Yeah, don't need to be an idiot like me who just works all 3 days. I say, I'll give it some thought. I mean, to be honest with you, it sounds like he got paid a decent amount for doing it anyway, so... Heck, maybe working all 3 days isn't such a bad thing if you can physically cope with it. There we go, nice and bright. Might resort to some good old metallic medium to do that highlight on the steel areas. Let me know if I ever need /1 Death Knight minis for D&D. Nice. I did see in the photos you sent that you got some. I was wondering what you were actually planning on doing with them. I don't have any immediate plans for them, but I'd certainly let you know. Supposed to be for Onslaught, but I could be persuaded to hand them to my most consistent GM. Oh, wow. Oh, thank you. I'm glad I'm at least your most consistent. Did you actually manage to get to either play or demo Onslaught in the end? Because it did look really good, I've got to admit. Decided no longer play favorites. That's actually reasonable. Demo not play. How did it go in the end? So I know you're having difficulties when you brought it round because there was that important piece missing. Alright, considering I hadn't really had the brain space to learn the rules. Sounds like learning by doing has zero negative consequences. I mean, that's how I get by. I learn almost exclusively by doing. That's why, as much as I quite enjoyed getting a little bit sort of stuck into the new rules for 40k the other night on stream, I'd be way happier for them to just release the new datasheets so I can just hurry up and actually get some games in, because that's going to be the best way I'm going to figure it out. Okay, that's one wing done. We'll do the next, and then we'll work on the tail and all of this bit in and around the back. I assume not when you're supposed to be teaching what you're learning. Not necessarily. Because a good teacher knows that everyone learns in different ways. But also appreciates their own way of learning. And how that sets them apart from other people. I'm glad to hear her dragon got back safely. There's a real fine balance to try and strike here, because I do still want to brighten this up to make it look sharp and clean, but I also don't want to completely undo all the work that we've done with the oil wash underneath. So all I can really do to describe what's going on is it's kind of taking a very light approach. Especially where the recesses are concerned, trying to leave those alone so that way the oil wash still peeks through. But yeah, I'm hoping that we can get D&D back up and running soon. I do really miss it. Mostly I just miss having you guys around. Hi Nash, how you doing? Got back my life domain story-wise. Oh, sweet. Tell us all about it. How did it happen? Same, but also got to start thinking about your birthday. Isn't that like 3 months away yet? Wait, no. Oh my god, I'm such an idiot. No wonder that bit looked like I'd already painted it. Because I have. I was literally painting the wrong wing. Grrr. Right, okay. Yeah, but time blindness, and I can't just invite everyone to my place anymore, so planning becomes more important. Okay, yeah, that's reasonable. I can totally understand that. I'm sure you'll manage. Send me to the plane of Helm, aka Celestial, and my holy symbol was destroyed by radiant energy. New one was granted to me by the champion of Helm. This one is undestroyable. After we went to kill a Nightbringer in Celestia, as it's blocking the connection to Helm within the realm or within the mortal world. I mean, that might explain why. That would probably go to a long way towards explaining why you lost your life domain in the first place. So, yeah. Glad you got it back, though. That's good news. Ended session with combat, but as I'm missing last session, something bad happened. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. As a missing next session, killed 5 out of 6 enemies only for a fire golem to spawn out of the flames. Ooh, okay. Well, that's exciting. Got chained by my ankles, pulled through a portal by the bloody deity that claimed me. The one-on-one session tomorrow is going to be scary and fun. Ooh. Definitely let us know how that goes. That's kind of exciting. Now again, we don't need this to be perfect as such. It's mostly just about brightening up the metallics a little bit. The point accumulated from this point is just more honking fuel. Go for it! Enjoy! And with you being back from UK Games Expo, we can definitely stream Poppy Playtime Chapter 2 this weekend, which I'm looking forward to. And then after that, we are definitely going to get back on with Amnesia in celebration / preparation of the sequel, Amnesia the Bunker, coming out pretty soon. In fact, I think it might actually already be out. Mummy is impatiently waiting for you, LD. Oh, God. There's nothing about that doesn't sound goddamn terrifying. Please note I'm not saying this in a kink context. Uh-huh. Okay. Whatever helps you sleep at night. No, seriously, you do not want to fuck with Mummy. I can imagine not to, woo. You know, I want to be a good girl and all that. And yes, you try and make this weird. I'm just gonna make it so much weirder for you. See, Ember gets it. And Jane Fear Academy, Ellen with chapter 2, even Jane was creeped out. Now that's saying something. That's actually heckin' impressive, all things considered. Also, Ellen played both chapters back to back, and Jane munched popcorn but also made the comment, "You can try, but I plan on being dead." Oh, wow, okay. I also want to give Outlast Trials a go. because I know that's kind of got people a little bit excited lately. And I really enjoyed the first game and its DLC. Never did get to play the second one, though. Just didn't seem as good, or at least as interesting. I just feel like once they took the gameplay out of the asylum, it kind of lost a little something that made it great. Don't really have any justification for it, nor can I exactly put my finger on it, but it just did. Gonna need 3 others to play a Trials with. I mean, I was planning on maybe playing it with Ember, but is 2 not enough. First mission is quite difficult. We don't have 4 and communicate really well. Oh, okay. That just makes me want to play it more, to be honest with you. Like Eurogamer needed to pull in Dicebreaker and Oxbox and it still took them 2 attempts. Also be full frontal male nudity in mission 1. Ah, okay, so probably not something I could stream then. That's somewhat unfortunate. Yeah, because I know Twitch's terms of service tends to frown on stuff like that. Yeah, they streamed it across 3 channels and literally titled it, "This is getting demonetized so fast." Oh, wow. I suppose at least YouTube's progressive enough to allow it, just, yeah, good luck actually getting any money out of it. Or have a freaking age restriction placed on the video, thereby basically killing the audience that can even remotely be pitched to in the algorithm. As we learned through watching James Stephanie Sterling's video today about how one of her videos recently got mass reported into being age gated over a single screenshot of Michelangelo's The Creation of Adam. You know, that absolutely gratuitous, filthy piece of artwork that's been on the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel for hundreds of years. Literally apologize to Mike for swearing into yourself outside of Oxbox's normal content, Brad. Wow. That's kind of amazing. Hey, Battle Squig. Adam isn't even hung, for God's sake. You need a telescope. I know, right? Poor fella genuinely tried to avoid encountering the new dude and failed so spectacularly. Wow! That's impressive, all things considered. Yeah, Michelangelo didn't do big dicks. The David statue is also not hung. Yeah, but it's also ginormous. So, you know, relatively speaking. Right. I suppose now the question is what paint should I use on all the brass? I kind of don't want it to look too much like gold, but I suppose brass kind of does. I'll use the tiniest amount of glorious gold. I think that's going to be the best bet. Pink? For brass? Don't be daft. You asked if paint didn't specify it had to match. Fair point. Imagine if I use it sparingly, it'll still read enough like brasses to not be too mistaken for gold. We'll just focus it around some of the sharpest areas. I should be okay. Sort of very subtly blend these two metallics together. Also, I bought an Uga Pride shirt. Oh, that's cool. I don't know what that is, but it sounds awesome. Well done. Oh, Old Gods of Appalachia. Ah, right. I wasn't aware they were doing Pride shirts. That's cool. I'm going to be looking at including some Pride merch in my own store pretty soon. Again, one of the many, many things I need to sort out this week. No, I'm not so bothered if I get any of it out onto the red, because that's going to be one of the next things we work on, is dealing with the armor panels, which is not something I'm going to worry about today. Today it's all about getting the metallics done. And as I say, I might make some adjustments to the skin. Overall, I'm pretty happy with it. Catch you on Saturday. Later still, we'll probably chat before then. No problem, Armin. See you around. Handle store is live. Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. I need you to send me the details of that so I can plug it accordingly. But yes, my partner in crime, Ember Does a Thing, has started up their own business making painting handles. Fancy magnetized wooden ones. Here are Discord. Privately via Discord, please. Because it makes it easy for me to fetch the link and post it in different places. Okay, so it looks like I might need to go back over the skin a little bit anyway, just because I've accidentally hit it with some of the gold trim. But that's fine. That won't be much effort. There we go. And if I leave it to sort of the flatter and sharper parts of the metallics here, then yeah, it reads a little bit more like a polished brass, I feel. Rather than just a straight up gold. Again, it's a bit of a tricky balance to try and hit. Vashtorr the Chad, Vashtorr the Chad indeed. He is, after all, my Monday project, at least until he's done. I've had the moments to finish my Arcadia Stands box set, The Emperor Protects. Nice! I wish you all the best with that. Sent in PM. Oh, fantastic. Thank you, Ember. Greatly appreciated. But yeah, I may have spent a bit of time over the weekend looking at putting together a whole bunch of different combat patrols worth of stuff. Because I feel like that's going to be the best way to scratch that itch I have to not really settle down with one particular army. It means I get to test out a load of different things and just have fun with it without having to worry about buying a ridiculous amount of miniatures for stuff. There we are. And if I leave this as just a sort of highlight colour more than anything else, I feel like this comes across far more as intended. Like brass and not like gold. There we go. I think with these panels on the back of the blades of the wings, I might need to take a slightly different approach with them. Again, just to make sure it stays with the impression of brass and not with gold. Yeah. Almost done. Shouldn't take too much longer. Let's do a very light highlight up the sides of all the pistons. Yeah, just like that. And also just catch the edges of those hooves there. And of those gears in the sides of the legs, at the knee joints. And just along the tips of those spikes on top of those plates on the backs of the wings. Just like that. And so far, I'm really liking it. It's come out pretty much how I wanted it to. Right, we've still got quite a bit of time left. So I think what we'll do is we'll once again try not to break the model. Luckily, that's going to be quite easy to fix. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to move down. Move down to my smallest brush and get a little bit of metallic medium, and we'll use this on just the sharpest points. So just up to the very barest tips of the wings and those claws on his left hand. And what will happen is when that dries, it will pick up light in a very shiny luster, but it doesn't apply any pigment to it whatsoever, so it just sort of naturally accentuates the sheen of the metallics that are already there. We want to take a very less is more approach to this. We really do not need an awful lot of this. I can feel that slipping off the base. Right, I'm gonna have to deal with that later. I suspect it's probably to do with the weight of it and the angle I've had to keep holding the miniature just to make sure that I can keep this on screen. So I realise now I've not actually bothered to do the tail. Huh. Or at least that little end of it. And just with the blades on the wings here, I'm just going to take the very ends of them along the sides and run it down as an edge highlight, just till it gets to the tip, so you get this kind of V shape. Just like so. You really do not need a massive amount of this. So if you get a little bit too much on, that's fine. Just wick it off and you'll be okay. But you just, hey Kilreth, how you doing? Hope you're well. But yeah, you just take the same kind of approach as you would if you were highlighting all of this in silver, for instance, which is sort of like a time-honored tip when it comes to sort of taking metallics to the next level. I'm good, thank you. Thank you very kindly for asking. Just plodding along at the moment. Oh. Yeah, I get the feeling I'm going to have to re-secure this model down onto the base with a bit more glue, as it just does not want to stay put. Now I'm just wicking off the tiniest amount of this off the brush, so it keeps it nice and light. I'm just going to focus on where the light would catch some of these sharper elements, such as these brass spikes here. And the key is to not go too heavy-handed with this. There we are. We still keep that shine and luster, but it doesn't end up sitting on it like a big thick splodge. Right. And I think what we'll do is, like I say, I want to experiment a little bit with some sort of dark veins sitting underneath the skin. I'm just trying to think of what would be the best colour to use with that. Maybe a bit of coalia green shade, just to contrast quite nicely with the reds. If this doesn't work out, I can always repaint it. So it is just an experiment. I may even thin that down with a bit of lamy and medium, so it's not quite so extreme and in your face, so it's got a nice fade to it. So I'll start with a 50-50 ratio. I can always readjust as needed. There we are, just keeping it nice and light. And yeah, it's adding a little something. It's adding a little something that I think is gonna work kind of nice. And key here is keeping it nice and thin and using a very fine brush. And sort of tracing these little zigzag patterns down the legs. Also, anywhere you see any kind of flat area of muscle and skin, I sort of moved on to using it as sort of a shading colour just along the sort of top area of the skin, which I actually think works a little bit nicer. Don't get me wrong, I kind of like the effect it has on that thigh there. You get that sort of varicose veins kind of look to it. I also think it's kind of a nice effect if you just sort of run it into some of the shallower creases and just along the top edge of the deeper ones. Oh yeah, it just adds a little something that I think it was missing. And as I say, all this is just a 50-50 mix of Colia Green shade to Lamian medium. Because the way the sort of skin stretched over these areas, it sort of gives the impression of those sorts of dark veins sort of showing just beneath the surface level of the skin. So this actually works out really rather well. And because we've thinned it down with that medium, it's not too in your face. You don't get too much that sort of coffee staining. That's quite common with using washes. And if we do, it's much easier to just soak it back up again and move it into the areas we want it to be. And just sort of outlining each muscle. With a little bit of this colour. And just hitting the top surface layer of skin with it as well. There we are. We can do it on the arm as well here. And just adds a little bit of extra depth. A little bit of extra depth to that skin makes it look a little bit more dynamic, while still keeping in theme with that sort of unnatural, unnerving look that I want it to have. We might even work it in a little bit more the closer towards any area where the machinery is poking out of. Again, we're not trying to completely overtake the colour that we've painted on for the skin. It's more just to sort of accentuate it. We'll just have it sort of sitting underneath the shadow around the bulging veins on the forearms there. And around the face, we can still use it, but just have to be very careful about how it's applied. I'm just picking very select areas for it to show, and wicking most of it off with my finger as well. Again, just gives it that sort of unnatural look. There we are. It just adds a little extra something to all that skin. What I might do as well, just thinking as a way to add a little bit of bruising, might work into a little bit of Drucci Violets, I think. And same again, we'll thin this down about 50-50 with Lamy and medium. Oh, thank you for the hydrate, Em. For the hydrate. Good grief. The accent of my hometown starting to slip in. Doesn't happen very often. There we are, close to about 70-30 ratio. Thank you, that's greatly appreciated. There we are. And what we'll do with this is we'll focus this just sort of around the areas where it's stretching around all that tech. There we go. And we'll just be quite sparing with it. Just applying it in very specific ways around very specific areas. It just kind of gives the idea that this skin was at one point living and perhaps isn't exactly having a good time as part of this whole arrangement, being part of Vashtorr's existence. So I think, hi Hut Armories, how are you doing? Welcome back to the stream. So I think what we'll do is we'll concentrate it quite heavily around this section of armor here where the gauntlet's kind of fusing itself into place. As well as anywhere where the pipes are embedding themselves underneath the skin too. Just like so. Doing well watching and painting. Oh, glad to hear it. What is it you're getting on with? Non-metal custodies. Ooh, have fun with that. That's a bit of a big task, that is. And this sort of brings us back to the roots of Vashtor's actual appearance in the box art, where he's kind of got purple skin for some reason, which I don't quite fully understand. Now, I'm definitely enjoying this a little bit better. Sort of making it feel a little bit more... a bit more like there's some life to his body. Like, it still looks kind of unnatural. And looks still a little bit more like he's just sort of wearing a very crude flesh suit stretched over a metallic frame. But I actually think that works quite well for what I want it to look like. Pretty fun already. Finished my show, Captain. Oh, brilliant. If you've got pictures, feel free to share them. Thank you. I appreciate it. And there we are. And I think we're probably going to be... Oh, wait, no. There is one key area I've missed. As I said earlier, I wanted the area on the gauntlet to look a little bit more bruised. There we go. Stuck him in the Discord. Oh, fantastic. We shall go over and take a look very shortly. Because, as I say, I think we're about done with this for tonight. We might go back into a little bit of the cooler green shade. Let's work this sort of around the knuckles. There, just makes those stand out in somewhat sharper relief, I think. Right. What I'll do in which case is I'll fix up the base and re-glue him back to it, so I can leave him to one side and he'll completely cure overnight. and we'll have a little nip into the Discord, see what people have been getting up to. But overall, I'm pretty bloody happy with them. We managed to clean up all the metallics, and we've just had a few extra details to the skin there, which I think actually makes all the difference. So huge thank you to Armand for the suggestions. Definitely. Next up, really, it'll just be to do all the armor panels. And maybe some OSL. Before I give something a little bit different a go with the vents on the back of him. And then we'll just have the base to do, and then he's finished. I'm going to grab him by the wings to do this, because I don't really want to touch the skin. Mostly because I have absolutely no idea how long it's going to take for that lot to dry. Right, I'm going to shove that over there for now. Aw, thank you, Hut. I appreciate that. Right, let's have a look into the Discord. Right, let's have a look at this then. Ooh. Oh, that looks absolutely phenomenal. Nice. That's some really good non-metallic gold. Well done. Yeah, that looks absolutely brilliant. Ah, I can see you've gone for like a non-metallic, is that meant to be non-metallic silver on the blades? Because if I might, a little suggestion, maybe try and push the, there's like a light bluish grey. I use Wolf Grey by Vallejo, but the Citadel equivalent is something like it's either Ulthuan Grey, because Celestra Grey is too dark. Ulthuan Grey is just like a hair's breadth away from being white, and maybe push that a little bit harder because it looks a little... Like, weirdly enough, the gold on the armor looks less cartoony than the blades do, but overall it still looks fantastic. Oh, more of a power sword blue. Ah, okay. Ignore everything I've just said then. No, that looks fantastic, definitely. Love the cloth as well. Don't mind me just choking on my own spit. Yeah, I love what you've done with the cloth as well. That looks nice and smooth. Like, those highlights are really good. But yeah, I think you've nailed your non-metallic gold recipe, definitely. $15 bloody gemstones on that model. Yep, there is a lot of them, and they don't get any fewer as the range goes by as well. Yeah. Again, if it were me, I maybe would have done the eye lenses a slightly different colour just to make them stand out a bit more. Otherwise, they kind of get a bit lost in with the gems. Unless that's the effect you're going for. But other than that, it's fantastic. Let's see here. Why can't you... There we are. Why can't you switch over the way you're supposed to? Don't think anybody else has thrown anything else in the Discord. Might also redo them in blue or try to keep to 3 or so main colours. Yeah, blue might work actually. Again, they just need that little something just to stand out a little bit. Blue would be good. Blue would be a great idea, I think. Because it still keeps in with your colour scheme, but it also means that the eyes don't get too lost. Because like I said, I'm not going to lie, I don't quite... When you look at the model from quite far away, it's hard to actually tell where the eyes are. Which is also partly down to the design of the model, to be fair. Ooh. Oh yeah, you have absolutely nailed non-metallic gold. This looks stunning. I forget the names of these units. Wait, hang on a second. Are these... Did you repurpose these from Sisters of Battle? Like, they're the para... Oh, it's more than Val! Ah, right! That's brilliant! Like, that is absolutely stunning. Well done. It actually fits in with the army as well. That's the scary thing about it. Totally different army still fits what you've gone for. Like, she wouldn't look out of place in amongst your custodies in the slightest. Most of us practice before I do Celestine want that one to be perfect. I'd say you've pretty nailed it. Be allying my sisters and my custodies. That actually makes a ton of sense. Definitely. I was saying earlier, I'm looking at maybe just doing small combat patrols just so I can try stuff out and just enjoy having lots of different armies, but like smaller versions of them. And I'm definitely giving Sisters some serious thought. Yeah, I love it. That's fantastic. tower sword and my relaxing armor, they don't have any metallics, non-metallic metal or otherwise on them. That's fair. That's absolutely fair. That's why I'm thinking Necrons might be a good one. Just like a nice army I can just sink my teeth into and get a load of models done in a short space of time, because it's just mostly dry brushing gold over black. Right. Assistant Custodians are going to be fabulous. They look it. They definitely look it. Well done. Speaking of fabulous, I'm looking forward to getting stuck into the model for Fabulous Marines. So far, it is looking pretty much that it's going to be... That's going to be our mounted commissar here. 3D print, which actually we got advertisement for the 3D print store once it goes live. Sneaky. But we'll be back this Thursday for some more painting goodness. We'll be cracking on with some Emperor's Children. So we will actually be painting up a load of gold as well as a load of purple, which I'm more excited about. Big Naga Snack I'll be painting in Transpride colours. Awesome! I can't wait! Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, that is absolutely brilliant. Anyway, what I'll do, let's have a little look, see who we can chuck you all at for a raid. Oh, sorry, just got a notification from Twitch, something about refunded subscriptions. Don't know what that's all about. Anyway. But yes, we shall be back. Same bat time, same bat channel, 8 PM GMT. Or BST. Yes, it's BST. It's British summertime, isn't it? For some more painting goodness. I think I'm gonna chuck you all at Good Jesse.
There's just no better feeling.
The only other person online at the moment is Bunker, and he's playing Minecraft, so... It's either that or Studio J7. Unfortunately, there's no one around who's doing stuff for Fabulous Marines, so... Yeah, Good Jesse it is. BST, bullshit time. Accurate. Entirely accurate. I am not going to disagree with that. Okie dokie. I will see you all later. Bye.